Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, pilot Jack Woolen in Skycam 16, chief meteorologist Tom Clark, and Joe Zone on sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Good evening, I'm Karen Harch, live in downtown Scranton.
And I'm Nolan Johannes. The season of celebration is in full swing. It seems this holiday season, the push to keep drunk drivers off the road is stronger than ever.
Well, that's why I'm here at Courthouse Square in Scranton, because in just about a half hour from now, a candlelight vigil will be held right here on Courthouse Square. It's a service in memory of the victims of drunk drivers. Now, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, or MADD, and the Lackawanna County Commission on Drug and Alcohol Abuse are holding this vigil. In fact, some people are here already, getting ready for it. At 6:30, that service will start. It's part of a national observance, and of course, a lot of local organizations are a part of it. Now, a lot of people, particularly this holiday season, are gung-ho in that crackdown on drunk drivers. In fact, the Genesee Brewing Company and a Wilkes-Barre restaurant are joining forces to start what's called a designated driver program. And that program is supposed to be held all over northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Well, today they held a news conference to explain the program. A driver and a group of friends turns in his or her keys at a participating bar or restaurant and is given a button to wear. The driver gets free soft drinks throughout the evening, no alcohol. Now, when that group is ready to go home, the button is exchanged for the car keys.
We feel we're helping out the tavern and restaurants, which are our customers first, and then the general consumer. We want to have safe roads.
And this designated driver program is not just for the holidays, but for all year round. You know, we here at WNEP-TV are kicking off a similar designated driving program to hopefully encourage you not to drink and drive during this holiday season. Now, we're asking taverns throughout our area to participate in this project and register designated drivers. That's a person in a group who will pledge not to drink alcohol during that evening. That designated driver will be served free soft drinks and will have the responsibility of driving their friends home safely. Now, taverns that want more information or want to take part in our designated driver program during the week of December 24th through January 1st, you're asked to write or call as soon as possible. That's WNEP-TV designated driver at the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Airport in Avoca. The zip is 18641, or you can call one of the numbers that you see on your screen. You know, drinking and driving is serious business, and here are some numbers that just may convince you of that. The National Safety Council says each year 40,000 people are killed on our nation's highways, and half of those deaths are caused by drunk drivers. Now, that's 20,000 people killed each year because someone was drinking and driving. That's the grim truth that these people you're about to see are trying to get across, especially during the holiday season. Today in Wilkes-Barre, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, or MADD, along with some local organizations, including Blue Cross of Northeastern Pennsylvania and Pennsylvania Blue Shield, kicked off the second annual Holiday Drunk Driving Awareness Campaign. Now, it's the second year for it. The district attorneys in both Lackawanna and Luzerne counties know firsthand how important this campaign really is.
It's a safe community during the holidays as well as during all other times of the year. So we are...
This is historically the time of the year that more people are killed. More people are killed in flesh-rendering crashes than any other time of the year. A time of the year when we hope for happiness and fear the results of the drunken driver.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving also lit a candle in memory of victims of drunk drivers. We'll also see public service announcements during the campaign to make all of us aware of the dangers of drinking and driving. And coming up, I'll tell you about the pride of Luzerne County shining brightly in the Big Apple.
And we'll also have the stories on the end of an ice cream tradition in our area. Also, why some people who depend on the bus may be left without a ride tomorrow. All as Newswatch 16 continues.
Introducing McDonald's new lettuce and tomato hamburgers, the McDLT. You get a hot side hot. You get a cool side cool. New McDLT keeps the hot, keeps the cool. McDLT keeps the New McDLT. Creamy, the best tasting lettuce and tomato hamburger ever. New McDLT. The Movado Museum Watch. The first watch dial design in the permanent collection of the Museum of Modern Art. Now, Movado's Sports Edition watch. Stainless steel, 18-karat gold micron finish, quartz, water resistant. A sportive interpretation of the classic. The Sports Edition watch from Movado.
See the large selection of Movado watches at Bartakowski Jewelers, Wilkes-Barre.
Mr. Secretary, are you saying no further cuts can be made?
That is correct, Senator.
I see here enormous expenditures on Meistercraft.
Our boys deserve an expensive beer, sir.
My committee informs me it's not expensive, just tastes expensive.
Actually, that's under my assistant, Mr. Macklin.
Well, what's he doing with the money he's supposed to spend on beer?
Oh, Matt, it's a darling little boat.
Rich, smooth Meisterbrow. It only tastes expensive.
Well, if you love ice cream, you won't love this story. A Wyoming Valley ice cream shop for almost 50 years is closing its doors. Newswatch 16's Mark Davis is live now at Grablick's Milk Bar in West Pittston. Mark, why is Grablick's closing?
Nolan, the Grablicks say that it's time for them to get out of the ice cream business, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They've had a number of offers on this property here in West Pittston, and they decided to sell it to the Miners Bank of Pittston. The bank says that they're going to be putting a branch office here if everything goes as planned. But somehow, deposits and withdrawals won't be the same as Sundays and shakes. The Grablick family has operated an ice cream shop here since the 1930s. The current building was built in 1951. Shortly after that, Lou Shadosh and his wife began coming here at least once a week for ice cream or a shake. To them, the tradition dies hard.
Every week, guarantee it on Fridays especially. After we had our pizza and stuff, and then this was fill up the bottom, that's it.
June Mitchell's been working here for the last 9 years. As the word of the closing spreads, people are coming in for one last ice cream cone. The Grablick's reputation goes coast to coast.
I had one man come in here just this past week, and he's here visiting from California, and he said whoever comes here, he'll come in and ask for a chocolate peanut sundae every time. So every time he comes home to visit, because he's known us since a kid.
Well, a lot of Wyoming Valley families have been coming here for a lot of years. A lot of kids have grown up, and now their kids are coming here to Grablick. But after Sunday, that won't be possible. It's also sad for a lot of us at Channel 16, because a lot of us used to come down here and frequent Grablick quite a bit. They closed their doors for the last time on Sunday afternoon. I'm Mark Davis, Newswatch 16, live with the Instacam in West Pittston. Nolan?
Thank you for the sad story, Mark. An old restaurant not far from the Grablick's in West Pittston is not only closed, it's now getting ready to be moved. The old P&M restaurant in Exeter since 1950 will soon become part of the station complex in Wilkes-Barre. Wilkes-Barre businessman Marvin Roth bought the Silver Tip Diner and will sometime this week move it to Wilkes-Barre. Drivers in the Wilkes-Barre area are now able to use the new street that was once the Butler Street Bridge. The bridge was taken down during the summer, and now Butler Street intersects Wilkes-Barre Boulevard with the aid of new traffic signals. Officials opened the $2.5 million reconstructed street this morning. PennDOT estimates 6,000 cars will now travel the new Wilkes-Barre Road. In Schuylkill County, it seems as though the bus drivers and mechanics of the Schuylkill transportation system say that they will go on strike tomorrow. Newswatch 16's Bob Costantini reports that many riders will be likely to be left out in the cold.
More than 1,500 people ride regular bus routes each day on the Schuylkill transportation system. Let's get on the bus in Pottsville, heading for Minersville. Most riders are senior citizens. Many say this is the only way they can get around.
I use the bus about 4 times a week.
So what happens if there's a strike?
I'm lost.
This leaves regular riders wondering how they'll get around if a strike drags on.
I come into town, and I spend quite a bit of time in town because my son and my daughter-in-law work, and I have nothing to do at home, and I meet friends in town, and I enjoy it.
50 unionized bus drivers and a few garage mechanics are at odds with management over wage scales. Bus drivers now earn an average of $4.90 an hour. The bus drivers rejected the latest contract proposal by a slim margin just last Friday night, and there are no talks scheduled in this dispute. The close vote has transportation officials thinking some drivers will cross picket lines. The hope here is to keep specialized transportation services, such as this van for the elderly and Meals on Wheels, going. That would probably leave regular service shut down.
With the workforce being on strike, we don't see bus service being provided at this time.
The two sides have come to the last stop. Now they need a turnaround in this dispute. Bob Costantini, Newswatch 16, Pottsville.
Next, meteorologist Tom Clark with the story on the storm headed our way.
Oh,
Tom.
yeah. Nolan, there's a blizzard crossing the country tonight. Now, I'll be right back to tell you what I think's going to happen here.
Thought all OJ was the same, never bothered with a name. Then I did a little check, found new citrus hill select. 'Cause my ticket's going and my juices get flowing. In fact, sometimes taste I can't do without. It's that tingle on the lip, it's that dazzle in the citrus select. Gets your juices flowing.
What makes Citrus Hill so select? Because from every orange we select, we take the purest, freshest, sweetest tasting part, the heart. That's a taste that's bound to get your juices flowing.
Citrus Hill Select, gets your juices flowing. Citrus Hill Select, gets your juices flowing.
Holiday savings begin at Stroud's. With holiday gifts for the home, like the Sunbeam Monitor electronic iron with automatic shutoff, sale price $38.88. Or the Smith Corona electronic typewriter with spell right, just $269.97. And the Magnavox compact disc player, high entertainment, low price, only $169.97. The holiday sale, now at Stroud's.
Welcome back to Newswatch 16. I'm live here on Courthouse Square in Scranton, where Mothers Against Drunk Driving, or MAD, is about to hold a candlelight vigil to help all of us, to remind all of us to be responsible with alcohol during this holiday season. Now, during the holidays, many of you are probably putting up your Christmas trees. Well, you may remember the story of a Christmas tree that came down in Mahanoy City, a 30-foot tall tree, because of some accidents it may have caused along Route 54. Well, the people of Mahanoy City will not have to spend this holiday season without a tree. The owner of the Village Inn restaurant has decided to put up this 10-foot tree over his restaurant. Mahanoy City has had a Christmas tree for the past 48 years, and the restaurant owner says it would have been a shame to let that tradition die. There, now Mahanoy City has their Christmas tree. And Tom Clark is out in the backyard right now. You know, it's not really that cold out here. I think I'll stay out with you, Tom.
You're right, Karen. It's not too bad, and the weather will cooperate for the vigil tonight, beginning shortly. Now, it was almost pleasant today, having temperatures in the 40s this afternoon. Let's have a look at some temperatures now from across the region. Here in the backyard, under a cloudy sky, the reading is 39 degrees. And Gloria Ferry lives in Bowmanstown in Carbon County. She reports 40 degrees. And Floyd Reister is happy to say that it's 42 at his home in Loganton, Clinton County. And Brad Satorka would like you all to know that it's 33 degrees at his home in Carbondale tonight. Humidity is 68%, the wind is west at 5, and the barometer is rising from 30.19. The high here today, 42 degrees. That is above normal for a change. 33 the low this morning, 3 above the record low set a long time ago, and a year ago today, a bright sunny day, the high about what it was today. And tonight's holiday house belongs to Dr. Donald Shearer and his wife Kay, and they live on Elm Street in Montoursville. Satellite view shows a weak storm system crossing over New York State, some light rain and drizzle up that way, but boy, nice and sunny down here, temperatures in the 60s and 70s in the southeastern part of the country. The hot spot today was 86, McAllen, Texas, and 11 below zero at Butte, Montana. In between those two extremes, a blizzard tonight in parts of Wyoming. Lander has picked up 27 inches of snow since last night, and it's still coming down. This storm will spread a shield of precipitation eastward into Pennsylvania beginning tomorrow night. Now, here's the latest radar image, a little bit of light rain and snow off the lakes up that way. But look, no problems tonight all the way out to the west, but there it is now approaching across Illinois. Freezing rain, sleet, and snow. It's heading up that way at about 35 miles per hour. The forecast is coming up after I tell you that the sunrise tomorrow morning is at 7:17 and the sunset at 4:34. Don't think we'll see it. Here's the forecast. Cloudy to partly cloudy overnight. Going to get below freezing in many places, about 31 here in the backyard, but not too terribly cold. A cloudy day tomorrow, maybe a little sun in the morning, but the clouds will thicken up. It looks like some snow or freezing rain could come in tomorrow evening between about 6 and 10 p.m. across northeastern and central Pennsylvania. But look, it's going to get warm enough for rain most of the time from this storm, near 40 on Wednesday, more rain on Thursday, and then it may change back to snow on Friday. An update after the game tonight.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Coming up, a Monday night football game with a mission. Joe Zone tells us why. Plus, the final dismal days of the Bloomsburg football season. The Sports Watch is next.
I grew up with Toro equipment on the golf course, so this handy snow thrower was no surprise to me. Just look at the power. It's lightweight, won't clog, and it cleans right down to the pavement. So get yourself a new Toro, because even when the weather turns bad, a fellow has to get to work in the morning.
Save $40 on Toro single-stage snow throwers at these dealers.
Christmas is precious at West Friedman, the perfect setting for savings on fine diamond and gold jewelry, watches, and everything name brand. Save at West Friedman on Brothers Portable Electronic Typewriter with correction memory, on sale only $164.99. Magnavox Total Component System features dual cassette, equalizer, and a low sale price, just $197.88. The new Daisy Micro Seal keeps leftovers fresh for microwave reheating, on sale $9.99 at West Friedman. Have a precious Christmas at West Friedman. We wrote the book on savings.
Well, Joe, the season's over for Bloomsburg.
Boy, what a way to go out. You know, it could have been, really should have been, an experience the Bloomsburg kids would have been happy to talk about for a long time. They won't forget it, that's for sure. The National Championship weekend turned out to be a real downer. Reporter John Evans and photographer Dave Bertram traveled with the team on their weekend of disaster.
It started at 6 o'clock Friday morning when our plane, the Gulf Airlines charter, ran off the runway at the Wilkes-Barre-Scranton Airport in Avoca. 5 hours later, that plane still stuck in the mud. The players were bused to Allentown. Finally, at 8 o'clock that night, 11 hours after we were scheduled to arrive in Alabama, we boarded a Piedmont charter and headed south. We arrived in Florence, Alabama at 10 o'clock that night. A quick dinner, a team meeting, and a talk to a tired George Landis.
They're very alert, John. They seem really enthusiastic and excited. I'm sure their legs are a little tired and all that, but I think it was good for us this afternoon to get that 2.5-hour nap that we got in Allentown, and the kids said, Coach, that was a great idea.
55 degrees at game time the next day. The first time ever that a Bloomsburg football team was playing in the Division II semifinals. Pre-game time, half hour before game time, the coach is trying to psych these guys up. Thoughts of Friday's plane delays and everything are out of their minds. There's only one thing going on inside their helmets, beating the North Alabama team. It didn't end up that way. The Huskies lost big on Saturday, 34-0. For the first time all year, they had to face the fact that there was no next week.
Something's hard to stomach. You know, we stomached it last year at the state game. We come back and did that, so I think we'll be back next year for this too.
It's kind of empty feeling. I don't really know what to say. It was so abrupt that I'm at a loss for words right now. You know, I would have liked to have gone on. You know, everyone would have, but I guess all things must end, and the season just ended today.
It's 8:15 Central Standard Time. We're supposed to be on that Piedmont charter heading for home, but the bus bringing the team to the airport broke down. Twist of fate, Murphy's Law, call it what you will. It's all adding up to the weekend the Bloomsburg football team is never going to forget. John Evans, Sports Watch 16, Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
Final note on the weekend, when the Bloomsburg team finally arrived back in Allentown Saturday night, the buses that were supposed to take them home to Bloomsburg never showed up. What a weekend. Well, you can be sure the LA Rams and the San Francisco 49ers will show up tonight. It's a Monday nighter. The team that loses most likely will be out of the playoff picture. San Francisco's come on like gangbusters. After they beat the Rams, they get it going. Craig and Montana, the combination that works so well. Craig, as you know, can get into the end zone, and, well, the Rams, they go with their guy, Eric Dickerson, who has been oh so good for them. The Rams slumping of late. The Rams are a 10-point dog, which in my mind makes them a lock tonight. Hugh Campbell is out at Houston. The others have their defensive coordinator to finish up. That's all of it. Give tonight your best shot. See you after the football game.
There must be success in the Huskies' future. They used all their bad luck this week.
Yeah, they're looking good down the road.
All right, thanks, Joe. Still ahead, it's all downhill from here. And a lot of people in the Poconos couldn't be happier. That story when we come back.
Diastar Anaton from Switzerland, protected by scratch-proof metal and sapphire crystal almost as hard as diamond. It is anatomically designed to fit the wrist. It will not blemish. It is a precious object of tomorrow. The new Rado Diastar Anaton, untouched by time.
Available exclusively at the Cardo Jewelers.
Look for the Sure Save stamp of approval, and you'll find great weekly specials like these.
Sure Fresh ice cream, half gallon, 99 cents. Crisco shortening, 3-pound can, $1.99. P&R egg noodles, 16-ounce package, 2 for $1. And boneless chuck roast, $1.49 a pound.
When you want the very best, look for Sure Save.
Look for the Sure Save stamp of approval at a locally owned supermarket near you.
Welcome back to Newswatch 16, where a candlelight vigil is being held in the memory of victims of drunk drivers. And we're also being treated to some Christmas carols here, so it's very festive here on Courthouse Square in Scranton. You know, just standing here, it's getting a little bit cold on my toes, but there are some people who just love this kind of weather. Newswatch 16's Kathy Bellich says the cold weather is just what the skiers and the ski resort owners in the Poconos have ordered.
The season opening was never better than it was over the weekend at the Shawnee Ski Resort in Smithfield Township. All these weekday skiers are pleasantly surprising the management here, too. Raymond Roswag is one of the early birds. He says he wanted to start practicing.
I want to take advantage of the snowmaking that has not yet had a chance to turn to ice. And I like to get in 4 or 5 sessions on a mountain like this before I go on my trip to Colorado.
Sherry Smith of Marshall's Creek says she plans to ski here every day.
I get a thrill out of the speed. That's basically it.
Do you like being outside?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like being outside every day. And it just seems like a better way of life.
One of the assistant managers here at Shawnee, Jim Tusk, says the cold, snowy weather certainly did not hurt opening day.
To see us open this early, to see that many skiers come out before Christmas, which usually the prime season is Christmas week on. And, I mean, that's just a good sign.
Here at Shawnee, they say they've noticed a special enthusiasm in the year's first skiers, and they're hoping that enthusiasm carries through the whole season. Kathy Bellich, Newswatch 16, Smithfield Township.
Well, you know what? This isn't the only place where you're hearing Christmas carols and the holiday season is in full swing. In New York City tonight, one of the most famous signs of the holiday season is shining very brightly. There it is. The tree at Rockefeller Center was lit just a short time ago. And all of us here in northeastern and central Pennsylvania can be a bit proud about this year's tree in New York because you may remember that this year's tree is a native of our area. It's a 75-foot-tall Norway spruce, and it was raised in the community of Harveyville in Luzerne County. And it's really dressing up the Big Apple tonight. That is Newswatch 16 for tonight. Be sure to join us tonight on the update. I'll have more on this vigil here in Scranton.
For the team, thanks for joining us. We'll be back after the game.
Enjoy your evening.